Welcome to Crypto City. Thank you for joining us tonight, which is actually our monthly training. And at this time, we're bringing back on 2ndLifeRich to do some AI to web integration training to help us with customer service and client relations. Before I get started, I just want to share a couple of quick things with you, a couple of quick tech news things. And I actually want to share some very exciting internal news. So Venue GPS and GDeuce have both joined us as sponsors of Crypto City. You can see the new banners up on the wall. So we're super excited about the launch of Venue GPS's app and the future countries to be added to it after US and the Metaverse. And GDeuce and Venue GPS have also joined forces over in Meta Horizons with Entrepreneurial Edge every second and fourth Monday at 8 p.m. EST to help business owners and network with like-minded people here in the community. So we're very excited to have both of them on board with Barra Financial and Venue GPS. So welcome them, please, to Crypto City. An interesting story I wanted to share with you. So last week, my neighbor across the street posted in social media that his son, who just started college, was actually accused and chastised by a teacher for using AI or ChatGPT to write his assignment. Now, I'm sure that this will become more of a common thing, that they'll either learn to work within the tech advances or they'll disallow it and take away the growth. But here's the funny thing. He didn't use AI at all. My neighbor actually took the time, like a dedicated parent, to sit down with him and help him look up the facts and formulate his final piece. They didn't even use ChatGPT. So he actually was faced with going to the school to plead the case that he actually helped his son the old-fashioned way, and he was not pleased about it at all. And I was saying things to him like, don't hate the embracers of this technology. Just, roll with it. It'll get better. But, school has been changing for a while now, not just with home study and online courses, et cetera, but AI is going to be a huge game changer in a lot of ways. So just some cool AI news bits, because you all know how much I love AI. But researchers at UCLA have created a new AI model called SLI-VIT that can analyze detailed 3D medical scans like MRIs, CT scans, and ultrasounds with the same accuracy as human specialists, but much faster. So SLIVIT, which actually stands for Slice Integration by Vision Transformer, works about 5,000 times faster than doctors can when reviewing these types of scans. What makes SLIVIT even more practical is that it only needs hundreds of examples to learn from compared to other AI models that require thousands or even millions. This model uses something called transfer learning, which means that it builds on what it already knows from 2D medical images to quickly learn how to process 3D scans. So this is important because it speeds up the training and allows SLIVIT to work well even with smaller amounts of data. So as the need for a faster medical diagnosis grows, SLIVIT could make a huge impact. Its speed and its ability to work within limited resources means it could even help hospitals and clinics that don't have access to large data sets or expensive tools, making it expert-level medical imaging more worldwide available for people. So another cool news bit, that NVIDIA recently launched a powerful new AI model, Llama 3.1 Nematron 70B Instruct. Big, huge names, but which it's outperforming industry leaders like OpenAI and Anthropic. The model quietly appeared on the AI platform Hugging Face, where it quickly gained attention for its top performance in benchmark tests. The release marks a big shift for, NVIDIA, traditionally known for hardware, GPUs. Now they're making a strong entry into AI software development, challenging the dominance of software-focused companies. The model uses advanced training techniques like reinforced learning from human feedback and delivers superior performance in handling complex queries without special prompting. So NVIDIA's new model is more accessible, offers a more cost-efficient and high-performing AI tool for businesses, It signals a new direction in the AI industry where companies need powerful and customizable models to meet specific needs. And NVIDIA could reshape the competition. They're already a powerhouse. However, while it's really impressive, NVIDIA still cautions that the model may still need some fine-tuning for certain tasks like legal or math-heavy, applications. And one more cool item. Amazon has introduced a new AI-powered shopping tool called Shopping Guides to help customers find products based on specific features more quickly. Now available on Amazon's mobile website and apps in the U.S., this feature allows tailored product information and recommendations in a more visual, user-friendly way compared to the traditional filter menus that you have to dial down into. This tool is especially helpful for holiday shopping as it simplifies the process of finding gifts by showing relevant options based on the factors like popularity, customer reviews, and price. And it also breaks down features with factors to consider like the brand or use case such as sports and gaming or connectivity type. So shoppers can explore the guides for over 100 product types, including TVs, headphones, sneakers, skincare, making it so much easier to find the products and the perfect gift for those who are, even if you're unfamiliar with certain products and somebody asked you for it, you've got a nephew who wants something you're not familiar with, you can just dial it down so much easier. So with its ability to display educational content and consumer insights, these AI shopping guides can help you make more informed decisions while reducing the overwhelmingness of browsing through endless product options. AI is just amazing when it's used appropriately and when it's not, interfering with things that, people don't understand. So I think people just need to continue learning how to use AI in a very positive fashion, and it's just going to continue to grow for everybody. So speaking of AI, now I'm going to have 2ndLifeRich come out and start his training. So Rich, please join us on stage. Welcome. How are you? Please grab a seat.
Greetings, everyone. All right.
So welcome back. We had you on not too long ago so that we could talk about all the things that you're doing here in AI, and we want to, we're going to talk tonight more about your training, but let's just do a quick revision of Lux VR and what you offer through Lux VR. You're wearing some of it now.
Yes. So greetings, everyone. I'm 2ndLifeRich, and with Lux VR, we offer photorealistic custom avatars, avatar wearables, jewelry, accessories. And we also have the event every Thursday, Iced Out Thursdays, with your hosts, CyberShay and Flashy. And coming soon, Lux VR will be dropping the Brown Diamond collection, which is women's fashion.
Which is named after
Brown Diamond. Exactly.
She get a special line, which is wonderful. You've created some just amazing avatars, and like the one you're wearing right now looks very much like you. But you also did some for some very high profile people like Vinrock from Naughty by Nature and Pixel Addict, and name a couple of others that you've done that we've seen in here.
Well, right now, so is Yada the Queen in here? I thought I saw her spawn in, but we did hers. Right now, we're working on finishing up Dr. Karma's. If you look at my Instagram profile, you'll see hers, her update. We just right now putting the brown diamond dress on the avatar, and then I'll be finishing that up. But CyberShay, we got CyberShay in the house. Tony Stark. And yeah, I can keep going, but those are
that's amazing.
First ones come to mind. Brown Diamond.
Right. Well, yes. Wearing her own Brown Diamond collection. So it's amazing to see how many different areas you've covered, since starting back in Second Life and moving forward, and now you're with digital creation, whether it's worlds or avatars, jewelry, all the different things that you're embracing. So thank you for your contribution to the community to help everything grow. Amazing.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Yeah, it's been quite the journey.
And speaking of your contribution to the community, that jumps us right into Hume AI Club. So you started out training, and I know that you do most of your training over in Horizon. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so we have the digital skills workshop, and the main workshop is the WordPress workshop. Now it's named WordPress workshop because I am a huge fan of WordPress, but any website platform is welcome. So anyone that has website questions, regardless of the platform, regardless how you're building it, even if you're building it from scratch, you're more than welcome to join the Digital Skills Workshop and come in and have your questions answered so you can push your projects forward. But we've recently added on 2 other workshops, which is the AI for Humans workshop. In there, we cover a lot of the popular AI tools on how to use them, how to integrate them into your workflows. We also talk about some important topics related to AI in terms of how it's going to integrate into our lives. We talk about things like privacy and also copyright issues and how it's going to affect business and the economy and all sorts of stuff. So, and the most recent workshop is the Upwork freelancing workshop, which is going to evolve here soon into something a little bit different, but it's mainly focused on getting projects online using the freelancing platforms like Upwork, and some of the other ones eventually we'll cover as well. But Upwork is like the first one we're starting with.
Okay, so that's a lot of coverage there throughout the course of the week for people who are interested in learning more. At the end of the hour, we'll give you contact information if you're interested in getting in touch. So let's talk a little bit about your target audience in the community. Who are you reaching out to? Are you reaching out to people of specific level with some background, or is it for everybody?
Okay, so when it comes to, for what, Lux VR or for Human?
So for Hume AI, for the training.
Oh, okay. For the training, it's for everyone. I myself personally am a seasoned developer, so I can, I try to create an environment that supports everyone from beginner to advanced. So if you take, even with the AI for Humans workshop, I'm pretty sure most of you know Biggie Pauls. Biggie Pauls is a pretty advanced developer, and he, enjoys coming too. So it doesn't matter your skill level. You can come and join the conversation. And also, these tools are bleeding edge. So regardless of your skill level, they're still going to be new to you when we cover them, because we cover them when they come out. So they're new to everyone at that time. So come in, join the conversations, and share what you know and learn what we cover.
Okay. So tonight, you've prepared a training for us, and we're going to take a look at that in a moment. And this training is going to be up on the screen for you. If you have questions during the training, please raise your hand. I can have a blue pause the screen, and we can have you come up and ask your question, and Rich can answer it live for you. But we're going to be playing the video in the background. As always, at the end, we will upload this onto our Discord and so that everybody can see it. It will also be up on YouTube and Spotify. So if you want to rewatch it later on, so you can pause it and follow along with it and do the lesson yourself. I did cheat and peek through it a little bit, so I know what the topic is. And this is going to be great because this is something that integrates with your client relations, whether you're customer service or you're, a business that deals directly with high-end clients. This is something that can benefit all of us, and it integrates AI into it. So, Blue, when you're ready, we can put the video up on the screen. And, like I said, if you have questions, just raise your hand. I'll be watching the audience and I'll ask to stop so that we can address your questions live.
Greetings, everyone. In this tutorial, I want to demonstrate the power and flexibility of Zapier and OpenAI's ChatGTP working together. And so I was trying to think of a really general use case in order to demonstrate this power and flexibility, something that would apply to pretty much everyone watching this tutorial that's here today at Crypto City. So what I come up with is, first of all, since this is an event that you're watching this at, and since most of us have events that we host or have products and services that we offer, I was thinking, why not have ChatGTP evaluate the response of a feedback that someone has left on our events, products, and services? So, let's imagine a scenario. You have attended one of our Iced Out Thursdays event, okay? And what I've got set up here is a event, leave feedback form. So I've got a form set up here on our website for someone to leave feedback and tell us about your experience. Now, over here, I have another page over here, a page that will show the feedback of people that have come to our events. So, as you can see, I just set this page up, and right now there are no feedback showing. And the way I'm going to show the feedback is going to be with posts. So, inside of WordPress, and you can see we've got no posts right here inside of WordPress. So, what we're going to do is we've got our feedback form. When a person submits the feedback form, we want it to hit ChatGTP and have ChatGTP evaluate the contents of the feedback and determine if it's positive, neutral, or negative. If it's positive, we want to publish the feedback on the website right here where it says no results found currently. Right here in this what participants say area. If the feedback is neutral, we're going to follow up with the participant with an email asking them if there's anything that we can do to improve. And if the feedback is negative, we want to notify me personally, the administrator, because this is a concern and it's something that I want to be aware of. So in this chain of events or in this chain of options, I only want to be actually notified if the experience was negative. If it's positive, just post it on the website. If it's neutral, just ask them if it's something that we can do to improve. And then if they reply to that, I'll get that message. So that's another thing. So now that you see what the goals are, let's go ahead and go through how it works. Okay, so first of all, the website is a WordPress website. And in WordPress, I'm running Gravity Forms. Gravity Forms is a premium form builder plugin that I use. As you can see, for this example, I just have a basic form set up. You don't have to use Gravity Forms. You can use whatever your choice of form builder tool is. And so here I just got a few basic form fields. And these form fields are configured with my Zapier. And so let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this Zap. So as you can see, starting at the top, I've got a Zap for Gravity Forms. This Gravity Forms is configured with the Iced Out Thursdays feedback form. You can see that form right here. That's this one right here. And you can see I'm go ahead and edit this so that you can see it closer. And if I come here, you can see that I've already gone through 3 tests with this form. And I did 3 tests in order to set this up so that I can make sure that the transmission went through okay. So right here, you can see this was an amazing time. We look at this one, the event was okay. And if we look at this one, honestly, it was a letdown. And so we're going to use ChatGTP. Okay, I've got the OpenAI GPT-4 that has Dali and Whisper. And the action that we're going to use is analyze sentiment. So we can use ChatGTP to determine how the person felt about the event. And next after that, I'm using a paths step in order to split where the zap is going to flow based on the response. And so here with path A, you can see if the sentiment exactly matches positive. So if ChatGTP responds that the sentiment was positive, send it down this path. And then after that, we're going to create a post in WordPress. And we're going to post that we want to post that on WordPress, on our site, on the site. We're in the place that I showed you. If the sentiment is neutral, then we're going to send an outbound email, and the outbound email that we're going to send is going to have this message, and it's going to say greetings, and it's going to say the person's name. This is the dynamic point that is being pulled from the Gravity Forms form data. We received your feedback about your experience at Iced Out Thursdays. We would like to hear any suggestions you have on how we can improve the participant experience. Please reply to this email with any information you want to share. Thank you for your time. Now, as you can see, I've got the from name set as Izzy AI with the Lux VR Club team. And that's because I don't want the person to think that this email came from me or some other human being. I want the person to know that this is an AI response. Just being transparent. And the reply email address is going to be Izzy, and I've got Izzy at Lux VR Club set up as a AI analyzed email account. So all email that comes in there is analyzed by AI. But the CC is going to be to me. So I will know that this message has been sent out to the person. I don't want these messages just being sent out without me knowing it. Okay. So I do want to be CC'd on it. But then I can set up inside of my mailbox a filter so it doesn't actually ping me or something like that. All right. And so we're just going to go ahead and so as you can see, I've already gone through a test and tested this. So it is linked. And we're going to go through my email and everything, but I just want to make it through showing you each one of these steps. So now if it's a negative, then it's going to come down path C. So as you can see right here, if the sentiment exactly matches negative, then it's going to send an outbound email that's going to come to me. Okay, it's going to come straight to me, and it's going to say the person's name. We're pulling this dynamic field from Gravity Forms. The person's name had a negative experience. Okay, and then it's going to give me the message, greetings, Rich. This participant's feedback is a concern and requires your attention. And I've got it giving the name, the email address, and the message. Okay. Now, the from name is going to be, I've got it set as from the person. So this is the same name that came from the Gravity Forms submission. That way I can see who it is when I first look at the email. And the reply to is going to be their email. So if I need to send a reply directly to them, I can just hit the reply button and fire off that email. And so I've already gone through testing all of this. This is already published. Okay. This is already published. So now let's just go ahead and go through a test. All right. So here we have the what participants say. I'll refresh this again just so that you can see there's still nothing here. This one is the actual feedback form. Now I'm actually going to sign out of WordPress. So I'll sign out of WordPress. And let's go back to that feedback form. All right. So now we're on this as a normal person. I'm no longer signed into WordPress. All right. And now what I've done in order to make things easy is I have asked ChatGTP to just generate a couple of sample feedbacks. So I asked for 3 positive and no angry because I had asked before and one of them was angry. But we've got a positive, 1, 2, 3 positive feedbacks, a neutral feedback, and a negative feedback. Okay. Now, the reason I've got multiple positive feedbacks is because we're going to go through and just add multiple um, posts here. But let's go ahead and start with the first one. So we're going to start with a positive. And so the name is Olivia. Email. And message. Okay. And so I'm just going to pass the CAPTCHA and submit. Okay. So we can see that that was successfully submitted. I should have had it fire off a text message. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it fire off a text message after it has published that. Because that way I'll know when to refresh. So the event is going to be send SMS, my account. I'm going to select this one. So it's going to send it to me, the from number. And then I'm just going to say, um, let's just put the person's name. So this is the message it's going to send me. And so the person's name, right? I'll hit continue. Test step. So, yep, I just got the text message. Okay. Just got the text message. So now I'll go ahead and publish this. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's trigger this again. Let's do another one. So I'm going to take this same person, Olivia, And this time we're going to submit it and wait for the text message notification. Okay, I just got the text message. So now we can refresh. I mean, excuse me, not this one. We're going to refresh this page. And there we have it. So positive feedback from Olivia. This was such a fun event. The music was exactly what I needed after a long week. And the jewelry added such a unique touch. Everyone I met was so friendly. I'll definitely be coming back next Thursday. So, so we've got one, right? Now, let's do another one. This time, we're going to do a neutral one. All right? And we're going to actually and we're going to do a neutral one, but this time instead of using this dummy email address, we're going to use an email address that I actually have ownership of. We're going to use secondliferich@gmail.com as the email address. So I'll go ahead and pop this in, but we're still going to use the rest of the same information. So this is the neutral. I'll take Dave. And I'm only using this email address so that we can actually check the email. So I've got to use an email address that I can actually check. The other one I didn't need to actually check the email. But this one being neutral, we should now receive an email asking what we can do different. What we can do to make things better. We'll try this captcha again. There we go. All right. And so we'll just wait for this to come in. And here we go. So you can see the new email just came in. Izzy with AI. Izzy AI with the Lux VR Club team. Greetings, Dave. We received your feedback about your experience at Iced Out Thursdays. We would like to hear any suggestions you have on how we can improve the participant experience. Now, over here in my email, you can see I actually got CC'd on it. Okay, so here's the CC that I received on it. And if I wanted to reply, I can hit reply all. And I don't want to reply to Izzy, but I can reply right here back to the person, right here inside the email. So we're going to use this same email address again. And this time, we're going to do a negative. Okay. Now, on this one, it's not going to go straight to the person. It's going to come straight to me. Okay. So we're going to do a negative feedback. This is going to be Karen. Okay. I'll just pop that message in here. The event didn't meet my expectations. So we'll go ahead and pass this CAPTCHA and submit. All right. So now wait for the notification. Oh, here we go. We 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 have it right. We have it right here. So we got the email right here. Karen, so you can see that we've got Karen had a negative experience. Greetings, Rich. This participant's feedback is a concern and requires your attention. And then we have the message and who the person is along with their email address. So, as you can see, we have already demonstrated that ChatGTP will analyze it and then determine if it's positive, neutral, or negative, and then send back that determination. And then I've got it going down a different path based on that. And let's just do two more just to put a couple more posts right here on what participants say, and I'm going to delete these. You can actually see, like if I hit refresh, you can see the posts coming in right here. So that's that one. You can see the author is Zapier. I'll go ahead and do another one. Let's do another positive feedback too. We'll do Jackson. Email address. All right. Go ahead and so this is a positive one. The whole night was incredible. The playlist kept the energy up all night. So we'll go ahead and submit this. Wait for the text message notification. It just came in. It didn't. It just came in. I didn't have it. If I refresh now, there we go. You see, there's the one from Jackson. If we refresh the posts, the one from Jackson. Let's do one more. This time I'm going to leave my phone closed so that you hear the notification. I had just opened it up. So now we're going to do one more. All right. So let's wait for this notification. There we go. So now we'll just refresh. Boom. There we go. Positive feedback from Mia. Okay. And there it is. If I refresh the posts. So there we go. Positive feedback from Mia. And as you can see, like I can edit this post just like any other post. So just because I had it come in through Zapier doesn't make it any different than any other post in WordPress. So this can be extended to do all sorts of things. Zapier has a Zap for just about everything you can imagine. And then if there is no Zap for it, we can build custom Zaps. So it's very, very flexible. So, all right, that is the process. I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I don't want these fake reviews on the website. So I'll move these to trash and then empty my trash. And that's it. Let me know if you've got any questions. Thanks for following along.
Well, that was great. I have a couple questions, and we'll see if the audience has any questions as well. Anyone have a question they want to? Come on up, Demetrius. You just stand on that square there. We'll be able to hear you. Yep.
Here,
Hello.
here.
Yes,
Hey.
perfect.
So you got this all. Basically, it's like it's what was that WordPress? Basically, it's the website to get in contact with the AI. So
Well,
by huh?
no, go ahead. You continue, please. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, that's okay. No. So in order to contact, like I said, well, you're gonna be able to see everything that is either good, bad, questionable, or whatever, stuff like this. Got to go through WordPress. So, in an honest opinion, like I said, how will the AI determine like how you feel about the website? I mean, like I said, I don't want to say nothing negative about it, but I mean, like I said, I feel like the AI is judging what I think. And if it's like saying like, well, hey, if I don't like what you're saying, it's like, is it going to be negative to the point that I'm saying like, I just didn't disagree with what you were saying. Everything that you were saying makes sense, but the AI determines, so it has to filter out and say like, it's looking for keywords, it's looking for things. It's like almost as it's analyzing it to a point and saying it has to be perfectly written. Like, unless I can say something to you and say something to you to a point, the AI is intervening with my thoughts and not what I, like exactly what you want to hear. Not like saying you want to hear good things all the time,
Right.
but you got to hear negative things in order to know what's good and what's bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I see what you're saying. But in this case, the AI is only being used for sentiment analysis, and that is to determine how the person felt, not necessarily how I'm going to feel about what they said. Like, a person can say something. It's possible for a person to leave like a review that's negative, but at the same time not be angry about it or not be frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so, but yeah, AI is going to just analyze to determine the sentiment. Like, did this person feel positive, negative, neutral, angry, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and
so
then classify that. But then I still have access to all of the messages that come in. Yeah.
Okay, so know that the user's experience is based on the user's experience. That's why you create that versus AI. AI doesn't understand. The AI just gives you a logical sense of saying what you put in there, and it doesn't know what the user has experienced. I mean, like I said, I'm 100% towards what you did. This is remarkable because of the flow chart. Everything that goes categorize everything to a point. But I just want to know, does it base itself only on that? I mean, you are going to see these regardless, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
you're going to still have to weigh that out and everything like that. So I just want to know how much percentage of that are you going to be able to see versus the AI have to filter out before it gets to you. That's almost like going on an interview and then they saying like, hey, I give you my resume, which file gets this and which file gets that. So,
right, yeah.
Are we going to still feel that? Are we going to get response? How are we going to feel about it?
Well, technically for me, I want to actually lay eyes on all human reviews. Like, anytime a human being says something about my products or services or anything, I want to see it. But in this example, what's happening is the notification. So for example, when a person says something that's positive, I don't, it's not as urgent as if someone says something negative. And if a person has said something positive and it is appropriate to go on the website, we can use AI to intelligently make that decision. And then based on that decision, skip the process of having to read it and then approve it. Just let the AI post it. And so, but then if it's negative, then that gets bumped up in urgency because that's something that needs some attention. Send that straight to the administrator, Right. But so all of the messages are accessible.
I like the factor that you did it that way. It's reverse. People rather hear 10 things negative to one thing positive. So flip it around. Let's hear more positive than negative. I'm out.
Thanks, well, brother. I think the other thing with that as well is that, like you keep saying, you have access to all of the messages. So
Mhm.
rather than having to, it's also making it more efficient, because rather than it sitting, somebody coming and posting feedback and it's sitting there waiting for you to review it, it's already pre-reviewed for you. So it's like your assistant is sitting there
Right.
sifting through your emails and saying, hey, you need to look at these ones right away. There's a problem here, but these are pretty good. So we'll throw them over
Right.
here into the, upload them, put them in the good pile. And when I have time, I can go back and send them a personal response saying, hey, thanks for the feedback. We appreciate you coming through. But the ones over
Mhm.
here, it's like, hey, this person now, to what he was saying, them judging what is negative and what is not, anything that seems possibly negative should be reviewed. Because
be,
it could
right.
be something that's just like, hey, I don't like the color of your dance floor. Not such a big
Right.
deal. But it could be something of, hey, I was in there and the strobe lights on the dance floor made me have a seizure. Well, that's important,
Exactly.
So
Right.
it gives you a chance to filter them and bring to your attention. Someone needs attention right away. Because if that one sits
Mhm.
in your mail or in your messages from the website for 4 or 5 days, they feel like they're unattended. And they're
Right.
not going to be happy. It's going to further make their experience negative. So this at least gives you a
Mhm.
chance to fix it, rebut it, or make it better in some way quicker.
Right, right, exactly. And just for the record, I am a huge fan of human beings staying in the loop. I think that it's a bad idea when companies try to automate things that human beings should do. And listening to another human being's feedback is something that human beings should do. But when it comes to automating it, the process of categorizing can reduce, your workload, make things more efficient, and allow you to get to those categories in a time span that works in an optimal way for you.
Exactly. Does anyone else have questions? Come on up, Venue.
To ask Second Life a question. This is awesome.
Greetings, sir. Greetings.
Greeting, King, and I have my Second Life Easter suit on. So yes, from one developer to another. Let me give a great question here that probably nobody haven't talked about. 2 parts here. Do you think AI is going to be monetized? And if it is, affiliations, you know how we got Ticketmaster, Live Nation, Open Table, their affiliation. Do you think Google, Alexa, Siri is going to be companies that can't find you or find us to build the AI stuff? Do you think they will ever give it out as an affiliation to be partnership? And if AI close sales for people, do you think or do you see it probably being monetized in the future? Because the more talk, the more chats, the question you do, just like crypto or anything else, it's gonna come with a cost soon. What's your thoughts on that, brother?
Yeah. So so first of all, I believe that what you're alluding to is related to, for example, how right now Gemma, if you do a Google search, you get Gemma answering your question instead of your list of blue links, right? So in terms of monetization through that process, that's something that they're going to have to figure out. And me personally, I'm afraid that it's not going to work out in the best
as we
all of
both
us.
yes.
Yeah, I've been fearing this actually for years. I've been fearing it ever since Google began answering our questions instead of showing links, going all the way back to when they started showing products, when they started showing the map results at the top of the page results. So that was still their AI answering the questions, and now they flat out got it on there just answering stuff. So I see that that's going to have a huge impact on what we consider search engine visibility.
Yeah,
It's the
definitely.
whole thing is going to change. The rules are going to change, but the AIs are still going to recommend. So they are still going to recommend, but the algorithms they use on which to recommend is something that I haven't the foggiest idea on, and that's something that I'm paying close attention to, trying to figure out what it's going to be like also.
Yeah, as we both are, because what I'm saying for everybody here, SEO plays a big part of how you rank yourself in the Google search, and then people is going to be judging like, oh, I'm gonna go to that website because they got more AI questions or they've been asked more, and that's where we're leading to. But that's all I want to say. But go ahead, I'm with you.
Before you go, but the problem is when a person hop on and they ask Google, they say, well, where should I go tonight? I mean, the difference is that now the AI has an opinion on that.
Yes.
Before it was a rank algorithm, and it was based on human beings and the content that they were creating, and their backlinks and all that sort of stuff, right? But now it's the AI's opinion, and it's like, well, what is it basing its opinion on? And that's like none of
that's
us
the
know
scary
that. Like,
part.
Why is it
That's the scary part. Yes, it is.
What is it going to recommend that you go have dinner, or that you go have a movie, or that you go to this concert? What is it going to suggest, right?
So I'm leaving the box. But 15 seconds just went down to 5 seconds for humanity's attention span. Yes. So keep showing up, brother. Keep showing up.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? And while we're waiting to see if anyone else has a question, I have a couple of questions for you based on your actual presentation. So you mentioned WordPress, and that, as most people know, that's a platform for building websites. The Zapier, you kind of jumped in with Zapier. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Zapier, is Zapier a plugin and add-on, or is it a whole separate program that works simultaneously? What is Zapier itself?
Okay. So you remember when you were in elementary school and you had like that big tub of paste and you would use it.
You're not supposed to eat it.
He wasn't supposed to. Some kids did eat it though. But you use it to stick stuff together. So you can almost think of Zapier like that big tub of paste. Inside of Zapier, there's what would be considered either low code or no code little modules that you can use to easily configure and connect applications together. And then you can set off a cascade of steps to occur in sequence, and sending data off to different applications and taking the response from those applications and sending it to other applications. And so when using tools like AI, you can use Zapier to just send stuff over. You can send pictures over, you can send text over, you can, and then get a response back and do other things. But Zapier is like the glue that allows you to connect one application to many other.
Okay. And I guess, so it's kind of a liaison between the programs.
Exactly.
Bringing them together.
Yep. Without Zapier, you would have to write. You most of the time you could still connect these applications, but you would have to write your own code and do so through an API. And so Zapier allows you, even if you're a coder, like I am a coder, but I still like to use Zapier because of how much time it saves me. I don't have to sit there studying another, API and then figuring out all of the different endpoints and everything. It just uses Zapier step and connect things together real quick and move on.
Yeah. And
you can learn how to use these in Digital Skills Workshop.
Oh, I was just going to say, one of the other things is they could come to your class and learn how to do this. So Rich is doing all types of classes in the digital skills. And I know that I've seen from your videos online that you actually do stuff with regards to this. And speaking of, going a little bit back to what Demetrius was saying with the whole, what gives the AI the right to determine what's positive, what's negative, and all that stuff. So it's important to remember that AIs are learned models where they've been fed so much data that they understand that if I come in the room and I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm happy. If I come in the room and I'm like, what did you do? That like, I'm not happy. Like it's learned tone. It's learned certain words. It's learned sentence structure. And it's learned it for many different languages. But at the end of the day, as we've been saying for months here, is, AI is amazing and it saves us tons of time and it is brilliant. But you still, as the human, are responsible to look at that and, review it and make sure that what it gave you back is exactly what you want, which is the same as if you're doing prompt engineering. You could ask it 30 times the same thing and get different answers based on whether or not you asked it properly. So when you get your response back from these forms and, somebody says something that AI has deemed negative, if you read it and you're like, oh, that's not negative, you could just turn around, copy, paste it, and throw it up onto your website as a review. Because as you said, and anybody in here who's ever bought on Amazon, I mean, I buy on there all the time. And very rarely, but sometimes I look at the customer reviews if it's something I'm buying that I'm not familiar with, and I'll look to see which one had the better reviews simply because of durability, quality control, things like that. And I'll read through these reviews that they put 2 stars. And then I read why the 2 stars were there. And it was like, UPS delivered it late. Well, that's not the product.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The product's fine. That's the delivery agent. So that to me is not necessarily a negative review on that product. So I, as the website owner, have the right to go in and shift it around and say, this is actually not a bad review. I'm going to throw that up there. And if you've ever run a Facebook page, when people write negative comments, Facebook gives you the option to hide them. Now, the person who goes on there still sees their comment and any of their friends see it, but all the new people who don't know who Karen is, and I laughed that you used the name Karen. I thought that was funny. But, the people who, go on there and make these comments, you have the right to protect yourself a little bit there. So.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing to point out based on the example that you gave is that if you were to hire someone to do the same thing, I guarantee that after enough time has passed, there would be some different opinion of ones that were negative or positive. It's going to be some that came in that the person you hired, they're going to had posted it, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, why'd you post that one? That's not one that's appropriate to be on there. It's going to happen at least a couple of times, and that's with a human being. So the reason I make that comparison is because you can, the AI is going to make mistakes as well. But it's something to keep in mind about the AI is that it is still based on our reasoning. It's statistical relationships on decisions that we've made online in various different scenarios. So it has a pretty good idea, about as good of an idea as another human would probably have in a lot of cases.
Agreed. Yeah. So let's talk about future classes. So you talked about you've got your digital skills workshop. You've got, these other programs that you're doing on 3 days a week. So do you see yourself putting together any additional classes in the future? And then also, if people are interested in getting in this digital skills workshop, how do they get in?
Sure. Well, so I do want to keep growing the digital skills workshop. I've spoken to Brown Diamond about possibly one day having a workshop going 5 days a week. But right now, some of the workshops that I plan on doing are like a Zapier workshop where we just 100% focus on using Zapier. I want to do a gravity forms workshop where we just dig into the power of gravity forms and using it for all different types of use cases. Sometimes inside of our WordPress workshop, we don't get to dig in as much in some of these things, even though we do touch on them and use them. So workshops where we can just kind of dig in more on some of these kind of robust solutions that we use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And then if people are interested in getting in right now on the digital skills, should they be DMing you or?
The easiest way is to just go to myworkrooms.com. Literally, that's the domain name, myworkrooms.com. And on there's 3 different membership options. You can just register for the free community option, and you can come in and participate in the conversations, and you can ask questions and things like that. You only need one of the other membership options if you actually want resources. And so if you're interested in resources, they're at really good, you get a lot of stuff. You get a lot of bang for your buck, basically. But free account, you get to come in, you bring your own resources, or just come and join the discussion and learn from what we got going on.
Love it. Love it. Does anyone have any other questions for Rich?
One thing I would like to say before one thing I want to say before I get off the stage, and I've got to say this, otherwise Brown Diamond's going to bop me upside the head. So I was, most of you probably noticed I spelled participant wrong. And on the page, I did point it out at the beginning, but I had already recorded the video and I was almost finished editing it. She came in, looked over my shoulder, and noticed I spelled it wrong. And I did not have enough time to go back and do it all over. But I did fix the spelling on the website.
That's funny. You know what? Sometimes we run out of time. I hear you.
She's giving me such a hard time about it.
That's okay, because I know that Blue Moon over there, she saw it too, and she was probably doing one of these. Yeah. But I'm just glad it was you and not me. I'm very glad. Oh, that's awesome.
I should have had AI check it first.
Yeah, right. That'll be your next class, AI spell check. So let me ask you just one thing before we let you go and wrap this up. But for people who are intimidated by websites, tech, all of that stuff, you've been doing it a long time. These workshops that you put together are very user friendly for people. So are you, what would be your advice to people who are pretty intimidated by this stuff? Like, oh, I can't learn that, I'm just going to let everybody else do it.
Yeah, so the digital skills workshop will be the great place for you, because you'll have all sorts of hands-on and guidance, and you'll be able to get past those fears. The fears are just from like not being exposed to it, or like it just not being part of your regular day-to-day. You come in and you'll learn that this stuff is not as hard as it looks, and that you may actually really enjoy building your website. It becomes your artwork. You put your pictures on there, your content on there, and you learn to use your tools. You use AI to produce your artwork and things like that you put on there, and you can be quite proud of what you've built. And so, but these tools are they're not difficult if you just apply yourself and give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Trey actually has a question. Come on up to the square, Trey.
Okay. Yeah, and I think Demetrius had another question as well.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Okay,
Trey?
awesome. I'm doing good. So, Rich, I know in Allspace, you did a lot. You really showed me how those videos that you made on how to create clothing and everything in Blender, that really helped me, like, to this day. Like, I can even carry those skills on other platforms. So my question really is, are you looking to somehow in the future maybe even making classes on like Blender basics, how to create the clothing and how you do your custom, like your assets, like your necklace and all that stuff? And are you any kind of Blender classes in the future coming?
Well, thank you, Trey. And I know you've been around for quite some time, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Well, so the thing is that after Alt Space VR, and then when going into next, what came next was spatial. I was still trying to make some tutorials, but it's like everything was kind of scrambled. But then after that, Kip and Meta Jackie and Kip and Meta Jackie mainly, they began doing their Blender tutorials and classes and
Okay.
everything, and they were doing
Okay.
like a great job with it. And I don't know
Mhm.
if he's going to still be doing those. I believe they are still going to be doing them, but what I want to focus on doing is like serving the community in the way that is kind of like unique to what I have to
Okay.
offer. And
Okay.
Kip and Meta Jackie were doing great with the Blender stuff,
Okay.
and so I'd like to really
Okay.
let them be the
Okay.
ones to offer that as much. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
may end up
Okay.
doing some of that stuff again in the future.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
To add on to that too, for those of you who are not in Kip's Discord, you may want to join that. There's a lot of really valuable information in there. I actually did take the classes. Along with Blue and a bunch of other people here in the community took the classes, and the step-by-step was really good. And if you're part of the Discord, there's actually files that you can go back and watch videos and everything, so it's very good.
Yeah, they've been killing it. Like I've seen some of the classes. I used to peek in there, and yeah, they were great. Yeah, and people were learning a lot.
We did. We definitely learned a lot.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Demetrius.
I think you're on mute, maybe.
Yeah, we're not hearing you. You might be muted.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
There we go.
That's the good thing about being able to have a button to set yourself up. Anyway, I just
Too bad they're
wanna
not
say
in real
one
life.
thing. No, Ty and other people, I'm just gonna say, are like greatly admired because there's not only Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. There are a lot of new people, and there are a lot of people coming into this. I mean, it's like technology is not only for those who are gifted. Technology is made for people that are living life. So we should not be afraid or to encompass what's going on. Like with everything that's happening, we got AI, we got robots, and let's not let things get to the point where we're not human. We are human. We are the ones that created that. So
Thanks.
everything right now, I mean, like we have to just look at it this way. We have to understand. Don't try to take something away from life, but life is imitated or emulated by life itself. So we live in a life that we already know that we was going to come into and stuff. Like I said, technology right now is only just an extension of our minds. So we should all embrace this, but then again, we have to know how to control and don't let it take us over. Because sometimes it gets to a point where we just like saying like, oh, we can just lay back and just let things just be like the way they are. Not the way it is. It's the way they are because things have actually got to the point we are living in the science fiction world. So I'm just saying, don't be afraid of technology, but just don't let technology take us over to the point where we're not human anymore.
There's a fine line.
Yeah, it's a real fine line, but we created that. That's what we do. We're human beings. We are the ones that made this. So
yeah. Well, there's a fine line, but if I have 20,000, I'm buying that robot to come help you. Just saying.
I mean, you can buy the car. What is that? The car that drives you around. You can buy one with the 20,000.
All right, buy the robot. He drives my car. We're good. Then I get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but anyway, on a good note, let's just say we did this. I mean, human beings got to the point where we are able to have that much knowledge and concept. So we've done this to a point that this is what we were made for. That's why we are humans, because we are able to identify what it is to be human. Don't lose
Mhm.
that. If we don't lose that, then we good. If we lose the humanity
Definitely.
and let everything go beyond that point, then that's when we make our mistake. All right.
Facts. Thank you. Yeah, I
Thank
agree.
you, Demetrius. And thank you all for being here tonight. And thank you, Rich, for coming on and training with us and, sharing your insights and stuff. I think that, anybody who's interested in getting into the classes, here's all the contact information up on the screen. If you're here in the metaverse and you're already, dealing, seeing us at Iced Out Thursdays, or just around, you can talk to them. But if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, you can always reach out here and get some advice as well. So with that, I want to thank everyone for coming out on their Monday night. And I want to let you know that next week we have Ty Sky, the DJ, coming on. Ty, obviously a DJ, but he's also a filmmaker and a huge community part. So we're excited to have him come on. We celebrated his birthday the other night and he's got some big things in the works. So he will be here Monday night to share what's coming up with him. And we look forward to seeing all of you there. And thank you to all of you at home for keep watching. Thank you to our sponsors. We have Kip, we have DJ Marcus, we have the Virtual Fitness Group, we have the Diamond Resilience, we have Hume AI Club right here, and now we have Venue GPS. And we have Bara Financial. Thank you to everyone for being part and helping us, keep going every single week. We appreciate you. So, and thank you to my team, to Blue for running the slides and the shows and keeping us on point and pointing out spelling errors. Love it. And Marcus for running the cameras and Kip for all of the updates that you do to this world. And Loudfire for keeping out the riffraff. Appreciate all of you. And we will see you next week. Thank you. And we are out. Done recording.
Thank you.
That was great. That was good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was really good.